As many of us know, the American Express Platinum card comes with the infamous $50 Saks credit. That's basically a Saks Fifth Avenue gift card given each half year, and is actually easier to use than you might think, as I've shown sneaky ways to trigger this credit in my past video. However, when I was planning my trip to Canada, I saw two interesting stores. First one being there were Saks Fifth Avenue stores in Canada. Okay, so with the Saks Fifth credit trigger at international locations, and the second store that was attached was a fully supplied Saks Fifth Avenue grocery store. Now that's interesting. And in this video, I'll be reviewing an international location of Saks Fifth Avenue along with a Saks Fifth grocery store, and will it trigger the Saks credit? The Saks Fifth that I went to was in Eden Center, which is located in central downtown Toronto. To get to the Saks Fifth from Yonge Street, you basically had to walk to the other side of the mall and go through this pretty cool hallway, and it was across from the Hudson Bay, which is basically a Canadian version of a Macy's. It was kind of a fancy location, at about 3 floors, gold detailing everywhere. Overall though, it didn't really look too different from a Saks Fifth Avenue that me and you are used to. Same overpriced clothes, pretty spacious walkways, the employees were dressed exactly the same as you would expect in America. Usually nothing that I personally want to buy in store. However, we had to find something because I wanted to see if it would actually trigger the Saks Fifth Avenue credit. So we went to a place where we can actually find some pretty cheap stuff, skincare, and my wife picked out a bottle of hand cream. Even better on that weekend, I think they were having a 15% off discount on skincare stuff, just health and beauty in general. So that helped out, especially if it didn't trigger the Saks Fifth Avenue credit. But we went to the register as normal. The checkout experience is exactly the same as you would expect, you know, from a normal Saks Fifth Avenue store in America. Nothing too special. And I went to pay, and that was that. For the hand cream, it was $28.25 Canadian, and on the Platinum card, it charged as $20.94, which was about right. Almost the exact conversion. But now after that, I wanted to check out what exactly is a Saks Fifth Avenue grocery store. Apparently it's called the Saks Food Hall. It was on the basement floor of the Saks Fifth Avenue. You had to take an escalator to get there. But when we got there, we were kind of shocked. We were expecting some sort of boutique grocery store, maybe like, you know, $500 T-bone steaks or something like that. But no, it had pretty normal stuff. It had Perrier water, you know, as you expect from a normal grocery store. They got olive oil, a bunch of stuff I didn't recognize, I think was coffee. They got bakery goods, they got crackers, they got bread, brioche fancy bread. They also got little itty bitty rotisserie chickens. That's pretty insane. Can you imagine getting a rotisserie chicken at a Saks Fifth Avenue? They also got a bunch of little snacks like gummies and junk like that. Some trail mix, just some other snacks. Almonds, chocolates, just a bunch of stuff you would normally find, you know, like at that aisle at TJ Maxx that they sell food. It basically gave me that vibe. But not only that, they also sold fresh fruits, you know, like raspberries, blueberries, lemons, apples, strawberries, even vegetables like cucumbers, peppers, avocados, tomatoes, grapes, pomegranates, pineapples, cantaloupes. They even had prepackaged stuff like cabbages, some boxed fruits, some spinach, some carrots, a pre-made salad, and the prices weren't bad. You gotta remember, this is Canadian prices, and you know, the US dollar is worth a little bit more than the Canadian dollar. Just a bunch of pre-packaged, pre-prepared foods too. They also had this little chocolate section, just everything chocolate. A bunch of brands I've never seen before. I'm not sure if they're native to Canada or just some sort of boutique chocolate. Some interesting pasta and pasta sauce, some Easter stuff, and like a whole section that you would normally expect at a real grocery store. Even chips and popcorn, and some of the stuff that you may recognize back in the United States. And apparently my wife found this raw honey type thing. It's kind of strange. Apparently it was like $16 or $15. I don't really remember. Oh, $16.99. So I think that's about like $12 US. A bunch of other snacks, some more Easter stuff, because at the time we were visiting, it was Easter weekend, a bunch of drinks and sodas, and more snacks. My wife also found these pure mint, which we've never seen before. We've only seen the gum flavor version, and just a whole bunch of snacks near the checkout. For Rocher's, just like everything. It's basically a mini real grocery store. And my wife also picked up some noms to try. It was alright. I think she didn't like the pistachio, but she did like the yellow one, which I believe was hazelnut. Yeah, she liked the hazelnut one. A bunch of deli meats and cheeses, some cleansing juice. They even had a charcuterie board, which was quite expensive. It was $21, so I think about $15 US. Oh yeah, and also they had this bakery section, just a bunch of fresh baked goods, a giant thing of tiramisus, some cakes, cupcakes. Yeah, it was pretty insane. Just like, you know, actual stuff you expect from a grocery store. I don't know what I was coming in with the idea with. For Saks Fifth Avenue, I was definitely not expecting normal, but it was much appreciated. And when you're ready to check out, there was two sides. One side where there was actually a person, and the other side was self-checkout. We wanted to do self-checkout, so we ended up picking out not too much. We got the pure mints since we never seen that before, and we also got the nom since we've also never seen those before. I know this is really weird, but I've never felt a bag that soft, which was kind of weird. Very fancy. And then after we were done checking out, I took out my platinum card and used it to pay. For everything we got, it was $13.30, so it was $9.86 US. And like I said in my What's in My Wallet Canada version, American Express, out of all the credit card networks, it has the best conversion rate. It's almost a 1-to-1 conversion rate. You're basically not losing anything. And then I just waited to see if it would trigger the Saks Fifth Avenue credit. Usually the Saks Fifth credit usually triggers within 3 days. However, in the terms and conditions, it can take up to 6 or 8 weeks. And I think I gave it about 1 or 2 weeks before I contacted the Amex concierge. Now, when it charged to my American Express Platinum card, the hand cream I bought from Saks Fifth did code as a Saks Fifth Avenue purchase. However, the Saks Fifth Avenue grocery store didn't code as Saks Fifth. It coded as something called Passarterie, which I kinda expected because it was underneath the Saks Fifth logo, but I wanted to see if it would go through anyway as being counted as being a Saks Fifth Avenue purchase. So after about 2 weeks went by, I didn't receive any credit for any of these purchases. So I loaded up my phone, got in contact with an American Express representative, and asked them, "Hello, I was just wondering, should the Saks Fifth credit work outside of the United States? For example, if I made a purchase in Canada's Saks Fifth store." They checked for me, and unfortunately, the Saks Fifth credit benefit is only for US Saks transactions. Non-US charges are not eligible, which definitely sucked. It's probably written in the terms and conditions, but I just wanted to see if it would actually work. So that was a bust. At least we got stuff that we would normally use anyways. Especially nice since at the Saks Fifth Avenue store, I got on a slight discount, so it evens out, I guess. But yeah, your Saks Fifth credit won't work outside the United States, and it definitely won't work at a Saks Fifth Avenue grocery store. And I'll see you later.